My name is Chelsea Lyons Kent, and I was a national delegate for Bernie Sanders at the recent convention. I also was one of the organizers for the Bernie Sanders campaign in Hawaii. I think that when Bernie Sanders decided he was going to run for president, it was probably one of the happiest days of my life, because I thought, this is our chance for real change. This is our chance to stop this downward trajectory and rebuild a place that will be a better world for our kids, because I have 3 children, and every day I worry about not just how we're going to pay rent and basic bills, but how are they ever going to go to college? How am I ever going to get them braces? These things are constant worries for people like me, and Bernie Sanders was the only candidate who was addressing those issues. So we fought all year long. We did sign waving and phone banks and all kinds of organizational meetings, and we got 70% of the vote in Hawaii. Then we show up at the national convention after a huge email leak that all but proves they did everything humanly possible to make sure he never made it to the White House. And we realized we never stood a chance. The playing field was never level. They were already ready and prepared to do everything possible to block us. So no matter how many steps we took forward, they pushed us 3 steps back. It wasn't just a game that was rigged. The other side was playing by a completely different set of rules. We never got a copy of those rules. We were never allowed to play by those rules. We were polite, we were respectful, and we were idiots. So when I was standing there during the roll call, after seeing several delegations have their Bernie supporters pushed out of the camera view, and I'm thinking, here I am. Why am I smiling? Why am I smiling when I know that this is all fake? This is all just a rigged process, and we're now coronating the new presidential nominee. But I didn't vote for her, and I didn't put her there, and we never had any say in it one way or the other. So in that moment, I decided I wasn't going to just sit there, and I didn't care what anybody thought about it. And I still don't care what anybody thinks about it, because it's about time that we stop being polite and we start being outraged. We start being outraged at the utter lack of democracy present within our government. The people have lost all power to have a say in what is happening in their own government, and that is something to be outraged about. So whether you're a Hillary Clinton supporter or not, you should be outraged at the fact that we do not have fair electoral processes. And these are vital to our future, these are vital to our children's future, and this is vital to our planet's future. I did have my credentials taken at the DNC, though I was given the opportunity to get them back, and I chose not to. I was told that if I apologized to Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono and the DNC, that I would get my credentials back. I absolutely 100% refused to do that. Both Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono chose to vote against the 70% of voters in Hawaii who chose Bernie Sanders and cast their votes for Hillary Clinton instead. They ignored a resolution from our state convention that urged superdelegates to vote with the will of the people, and therefore they ignored the will of the people. Only 2 superdelegates from Hawaii, the state that got 70% for Bernie, chose to actually vote for Bernie and echo the sentiments of the people that they are representing. Those 2 people are Tulsi Gabbard and Tim Vanderveer. I will never apologize to Brian Schatz or Mazie Hirono. I think they should apologize to the people for voting against their wishes. And I think that from now on, they should remember that we are watching. We are watching the way that you're voting, and we're watching when you're not with us. And if you want to be reelected, you should vote with the people who elected you in mind, because you are there to represent us, not your own personal interests. So if anyone owes anyone an apology, I think they owe 70% of the voters in Hawaii an apology, and not the other way around.